So in today's video, we're going to take a look at what's going to happen if the entirety of the Americas go to war with the United States. And we're also including places like Greenland and French Guiana. And this map is entirely focused on the Americas. French Guiana and Greenland are involved, but the actual countries like Denmark and France are not involved because we want to keep it to the Americas. But yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the video. Now, as we can see here, the US currently is fighting a two-front war. So even if there was a baby president, it would know that knocking Canada out of this war would make it a lot easier for the United States to win the war. And one more thing is that all these countries are going to take their time to mobilize their entire army. But the good part about the red team is that they were prepared. Anyways, let's get to the war stuff. On the border with Mexico, we can see that the Mexican as well as the South Americans have now entered the US and they're pushing into Texas. We can see another push being made into California, and the red team is doing pretty well against the blue team. I mean, blue team only has one country, so we can just call it the United States. But all this invasion in the South is happening because the US is mainly focused on taking out Canada, and they do take out Canada. There was a large-scale push made into Canada in which the US was able to secure some cities, some major cities, and they also took the capital city Ottawa, and this was a huge blow to Canada. Due to the fall of their capital city, we can see that the Canadians are unable to push back the US. We can also see that the US pushes into Canada in the western parts, and they connect themselves to Alaska. This part of Canada just surrenders. But at the same time, more and more troops from South America arrive, and they're also pushing into the United States. The US continues to push into Canada, and they take all of these parts too. And basically now the US has control over the major parts of Canada, and all these parts are kind of like useless. The US now pushes in from all sides. This island thingy is also taken. But with this, we can see that Canada finally goes ahead and surrenders. But at the same time, we can see that the South Americans are further pushing into the US, and they have now reached Florida. They also push into California, securing more and more regions. But because Canada is now out of this war, the United States can send all of their military down south. We can see a naval landing being made on the southern coast of Greenland, and basically all of the major parts are now taken, which leads Greenland out of this war, and now the United States can focus on the southern borders. Unfortunately for the United States, the red team was able to secure all of these places in Florida too, and they cut off all of these parts, but the people of Florida do not surrender. But as of now, we're going to see a very interesting event happening, and this is going to be a naval event. The United States has by far the best navy in the world. If you combine all of these countries' navy, it is not even close to the United States Navy. Brazil does have a very good navy, but it is not as good as the United States. So the US Navy was able to make a landing in Venezuela, and the capital city Caracas was taken, and now the red team is panicking because the United States is now in the mainland South America. The US troops further push into Venezuela. Also, they take out all of the Caribbean islands. Oh, this was Puerto Rico, I'm sorry. And ultimately, with all of their major cities gone, we can see that Venezuela goes ahead and surrenders. Down in the south, we can see another naval landing being made on the west coast of Chile, and after a very bloody battle, we can see that Santiago was taken. But guys, I should also mention that the United States is putting all of their money into their military right now, and they're conscripting literally everybody into the military. The US troops further push into Chile, and they even get into Argentina. Up in the north though, we can see that all of Florida is now taken, and now the American troops have made this kind of front line. But now they're also sending back their military because the United States is now in the mainland South America. Now because of the loss of their capital city, we can see that Chile goes ahead and surrenders. That's pretty good for the United States. And we can see another naval landing being made on the coast of Uruguay, and the country capitulates within 1 week. Don't know if I said that right, but yeah. Now the red team troops only have one chance left, and if they're able to take out the United States now, they will probably win this war. But if they don't, they're probably gonna lose, and a lot of countries are also gonna leave the red team. So yeah, this is gonna be the red team's final push into the United States. And a very huge military arrives on the front line, taking all of California, and they push in from all sides, but they're mainly focusing on getting to Washington DC, and they secure a lot of regions from the United States. The US is also panicking right now, but yeah, at the same time, we can see that the US troops are now pushing further into Argentina, and they push in from Uruguay, and the capital city of Argentina was somewhere around here, and it kind of fell. And after losing their major cities as well as their capital city, we can see that the remaining parts of Argentina just go ahead and surrender. But what could happen now? Will the US win this war? You're just gonna find out now. Basically, most of the troops are coming from Brazil, and if the US was able to take out Brazil, they can finally finally win this war. And before losing their capital city, the United States is now going to try their best to take out Brazil. And now they're sending all of their naval assets to Brazil. I should also mention that most of the Brazilian troops are on the front line over here in the US. So yeah, these naval assets arrive and now they are pushing into Brazil. The US troops are securing some major cities which all lie on the coastline. We can see another naval landing in the north where they were able to take out St. Louis, and they were also able to take some other major cities, but Brasilia is somewhere around here, so it's kind of hard to get there. But the most major city of Brazil also kind of fell, which was Sao Paulo. Following this, Rio de Janeiro also falls. I mean, they're not here, but they're somewhere around here and here maybe. And the United States was able to push in, all from two sides, and the Battle of Brasilia ends in a decisive US victory. This knocks Brazil out of this war, and without any other significant countries left, we can see that the red team countries finally go ahead and surrender. And would you look at that, the United States won this war. But now we're going to take a look at a peace negotiation. Okay, so if we take a look at this peace negotiation, we can see that all of Canada as well as Greenland got completely annexed by the US. The US did not take anything from Mexico because, well, the US troops were never been to Mexico. The US only took the places where their military had done some operations. We can see Venezuela getting annexed, and these parts of Brazil are now taken, and the remaining countries of Argentina and Chile are now vassal states to the United States. So yeah, this is gonna be it for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment, and tell me what you guys want to see in the future. And thank you for watching.